Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. So this reading today is for those of you who are self-employed. You work for yourself, you're an entrepreneur, maybe you just have a side hustle. You may have, a paying salaried hourly job as well, and maybe you just do something on the side to make money, or maybe it's your full-time career is working for yourself right now. If that's you, then you're in the right place. We're going to be looking at your work and your finances, whatever comes through for you that you need to know. I have 3 cards for you, just as a starting point to help you decide which reading is meant for you. Okay. So take whichever one resonates most with you for whatever reason it does. Okay. Your first card is card number 6, and it's the clouds. Number 6 in the clouds. It's also the King of Clubs. Okay. And that's group 1. Group 2, the card is number 36, the cross, and it's the 6 of clubs. Okay. And group 3, your card is number 33, and it's the key, the 8 of diamonds. So something there should resonate with you, tug at you, encourage you to pick a group. Maybe it's even the timestamp for that group. Go with whatever you're drawn to. So all you have to do is go down into the description box now, click on the timestamp for the reading you want to watch, and it will take you straight there. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one. Hi, group 1. All right, this reading today, we're looking at your work, your career, and your finances, specifically for those of you who are self-employed or have a side hustle of some kind, of people who work for themselves in some way. So hopefully you already know that before jumping in. I have 2 initial cards for you, Lenormand cards. One you've already seen from the intro. This is card number 6. It's the clouds. Okay, let's take a look at the other one. Then we have 19, which is the tower. Okay, so that's going to get us started on our reading. Give me just a sec. I just want to listen to any initial messages that these cards are bringing in for you. So bear with me one sec. I like to listen. The first thing they're telling me is that you have some uncertainty. You have some, maybe a little bit of doubt over whether or not you have what it takes to rise up, to be fully successful, whatever success means to you. They're telling me you do want more from whatever you're doing, from your business, from the work you're doing for yourself. You want to be successful. They're telling me most of you anyway are at least moderately successful. But there's this feeling inside of you that you want more. And good for you. Good for you. That's wonderful. But you do have some doubts or some questions, a little bit of confusion about whether or not you have what it takes to kind of rise to the top. Can you make enough money to sustain your lifestyle, to be your own boss in the long run? Whether you are working for yourself 100% or you have a paid job somewhere and are doing something for yourself on the side, there is this desire to make more money, be more successful in what you're doing on your own. Let me just listen if they have anything else they want to say. They're saying you want to be successful, but of course you also want to enjoy what you're doing and enjoy your life. You want to have some balance, which is good for you. That's wonderful. Meaning, yeah, you want to put your all into your business, but not to the exclusion of having a life. Okay? And it's this desire for balance, or desire for your life to not be solely consumed by work, that has you wondering, at least in part, whether you have enough hustle in you, enough get up and go in you, to do what needs to be done to make more of your business, to make more money, to make more of a difference with your work, to be more valuable with your business, to have it be more successful. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Get us started. Let's get some tarot cards down and see what you need to know. Okay. Your first card is the Ace of Wands. Then we have the World card. Okay. They're already giving me some initial impressions, but I'm going to hold off. Okay. We have the Five of Wands. And one more card, please. And the Moon. Okay. All right, give me just a sec. I just want to take these cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you regarding these cards, and then we'll go through them one at a time and see what you need to know about your business, about your finances, about the work you do. Okay? Hold on one sec, please. Okay, the first thing they're telling me is that you're being a bit too cautious with your work. Not that caution is a bad thing. Certainly if you're working for yourself, there has to be some level of risk taking, but also a level of caution because you don't have that security of a guaranteed paycheck. But they are giving me that you're being just a little bit too cautious when you could be expanding more if you were just the tiniest bit. I'm going to say the word braver, but I'm not trying to imply that you're not brave. That's the word they're giving me. But so take that, but know that it's not meant in a negative way. They're encouraging you to put yourself out there a little bit more. They're saying you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go all in. You don't have to, throw everything into your business, but they are encouraging you to try more things in an effort to expand your reach a little bit more. They're saying more options for bringing in money. So whatever your business is, you may have one stream of income from that business. You may have several, but there is a message here of creating additional streams of income from your business. So it's not starting another business necessarily. It feels very related to what you're already doing. But consider how else you might be able to earn a little bit more. Okay. All right, let's jump into the cards and see what else they can tell you here. All right, your first card is the Ace of Wands. They're talking about getting your creative juices flowing. And they're saying it's time to get your creative juices flowing again, because it feels like you did in the past, maybe prior to starting your business or earlier on. They're saying you need to do a little bit more, a little bit more, because there are new ideas to be found, new ways to inspire you and your business and the work you do that they're very clearly showing me that can make you more money. And I know money's not everything, but you're not in the business you're in to not make money. money is what drives, I would say, most of us in the work we do on some level. Anyway, some of us, want to, of course, contribute in other ways, but listen, money is why we work. um, they're encouraging you to be a little bit more creative, to, use the cliche of think outside the box, play with it a little bit, play with it a little bit. They're saying try to come up with some outrageous ideas for how you can add onto your business to create additional revenue sources. They're saying just, sit down with a piece of paper and don't just brainstorm 3 or 4 or 10 ideas. Come up with 100 ideas, right? Because when you get past a certain point, maybe it's the first 10 or 20 ideas, it's like you get all of the expected things out of the way, and then you have to reach a little bit more. You have to get into that creative zone a little bit more just to come up with the ideas. But there are some nuggets there. There are some ideas there that are outside the box, that are a little bit non-traditional. In other words, it's not what everybody else is doing, but could really help you make your mark with your work. Okay, so consider that. Consider that. All right, your next card is the World card. They're telling me there's something that you want, and I'm sure you're working toward probably many things. They're saying think about what it is you want in your life really, really badly, that you can only afford if your business takes off. And I'm not saying your business hasn't taken off, but takes off more, where you start bringing in, much bigger streams of income. What is that thing, What is that big? And they're pointing out this house in the background. For some of you, it may be a house. It may be a second home. It may be a vacation somewhere that's, exotic or very pricey to get to. They're encouraging you to reach a little bit. What do you really, really, really want that you need more money to create? You could have anything in the world, right? You had the money. And I'm not saying billions of dollars. Well, I mean, maybe don't limit yourself, but they're saying within a sense of realism, not based on what you're making now, not based on making a little bit more, but if you could make the maximum amount that's possible with the work you do, they're saying even add a little bit on top of what you think the maximum is. What would you want to buy? What would motivate you to make more money? That's really it. And to get very specific about it, to get very real with it. Don't just say, yeah, I would like to buy a bigger house, or I'd like to buy a house. Okay. Where would the house be? How big would it be? What would it look like? How would you furnish it? What color would you paint the front door? What is the view out the back? What is the view out the front window? What kind of neighborhood is it in? Get really, really specific and think about this dream you have. And again, it doesn't have to be a house. I'm just using that as one example. You have to come up with your own thing, your own why. And it may not be why you're in business. We all go into business for ourselves for different reasons. But this, they're giving me is a why, a reason to make more money, to stop settling for good enough. Because you have the potential to make more. You do. But you have to really embrace the why. Okay. I know that's not the traditional meaning of the world, but I read intuitively and I read from spirit, and that's what they're giving me. So, all right. So your next card is the Five of Wands. Just one sec. I just want to listen. Okay. They're, what they just said to me, and I'll delve a little bit deeper into it, but the words they just said to me is, be fierce within your competition. And that doesn't mean be mean or aggressive or angry or deceptive or any of the negative connotations of fierce. But they're giving me this message of, don't settle for being almost as good as your competition, or even as good as your competition, not even as a little bit better than your competition. And if you must have competition, there's always competition in every business in some way. Maybe you do something very, very unique and you feel like there's no competition, but I bet if you really give it some thought, you'd see that that you do in some way. But they're giving me, when they say be fierce when it comes to your competition, set your sights on becoming a leader in some way amongst your competition, to the point where your competitors are looking at you for inspiration. Maybe even literally, maybe they even come to you for guidance, for, to pick your brain, to understand how you got where you're going. But more so that they look at you and go, wow, that's possible. That person can do this with their business, so can I. They're encouraging you to allow yourself to be that person. And of course, you can want to be that person. It doesn't mean that you are that person. So how do they get there? Okay. They're saying, first of all, brainstorm some new ideas. Like, really, again, really brainstorm, not just a few ideas, because there's some creative concepts, it's like the creative juice is a little bit harder to reach. Otherwise, you're just reaching for ideas that everybody else has already done. To remember your why and to really hone in on it, every little detail of that why you want to make more money. There may be lots of reasons you want to make more money, but pick one that will really, really drive you forward. Study your competition. What are they doing right? Look at them from a customer's point of view. What are other people doing right? What are they doing well? If you were the customer, what would you do to improve what they're doing? Really give that some thought. And it's not to put down your competition whatsoever, but that's what they're giving me, is if you can look at it critically from a customer's point of view, not your business, their business, the competition's work, whoever you consider your competition or peers in your business. What could they be doing better? And apply some of those changes to your own business. That's what they're giving me. They're saying, be the difference. Be the difference. Instead of, don't be a copycat. Don't be a follower. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Stand out. Rise above. Be fierce. And be fearless. Yeah. Okay. So your last card here, we have the moon. Give me just one sec. Oh, okay. They're saying you need to look at yourself a little bit differently. You're playing a bit small because you don't see yourself as a leader in your industry. Not yet. And they're pointing out in this picture, if you see this kitten is looking in the water, and what this little kitty is seeing is a panther. Something much bigger, more fierce than they really are. And that's where Spirit wants you to get. Start imagining yourself, putting yourself in the shoes of someone who is absolutely a leader in your field, at the top of your game, at the top of everyone's game. What would that look like? What would that feel like? Start telling yourself that you are that person, even if you know in your, realistic mind that you're not, that you're just a kitty, you're not a panther. If you tell yourself often enough, you convince yourself that you are, if you give yourself the permission to imagine that, not as a what if someday I wish kind of situation, but yeah, this is who I am. You can allow yourself to imagine that. You will become it. Yes, you still have to do the work, right? You still have to make the effort. But they're saying there's easier ways than, you know, spending 100% of your time on your business, losing your social life, losing any sense of balance in your life. That is one way to make more money, but it's also a way to burn out. And you don't want that. Certainly spirit doesn't want that for you. So it's not about working harder and doing, putting in more hours, more effort. It's about being creative. It's about dreaming big. It's about looking at what others are doing and coming up with something else. Looking at their business and yours, when you're ready from a customer's point of view. And they're not really wanting me to say, look at your own business with that critical eye, because it will be too tempting to get too critical, to criticize your own business to the point where it no longer feels good to you, right? You want to keep your emotions and your inspiration and your motivation there, in a positive place with your business. But you can look at somebody else who's doing something similar, and maybe they're more successful as you for whatever reason. Look at what they do from a customer's standpoint and ask yourself, what could they be doing better? If you were their consultant, what would you tell them they should do differently? And then apply that to your business. There are easier ways for you to rise up and be successful than just putting in more hours, more work, more effort. So hopefully group one, that helps. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of a nudge toward what will help you get where you want to go, and help relieve any doubt or worry or confusion that you may have about how successful you can become, because there is no limit. The only limit is you're telling yourself, what's in your mind. All right, group one, thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you found the reading helpful, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. It helps me know that our energies are connecting. It will help future readings resonate with you more. Also, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let me know, and let the world know, the universe know, what's your business. If you like to, you don't have to, but I would love to know, what are you doing? What are you working toward? So thank you so much for being here, and have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye. Hey, group two. All right, today this reading is for those of you who work for yourself in some way. Maybe it's your full-time source of income. You're an entrepreneur with your own business full-time. Maybe you have a paid or salaried job and you're doing something on the side. You might have a side hustle of some kind. Doesn't matter. You're still working for yourself. So this reading is for you. We're going to look at your work and your finances and see what comes through. So your first card, you would have already seen this, is card number 36, the cross, and these are Lenormand cards. Got a second card here for you, and it's card number 29, the lady. All right, give me just one sec. I just want to feel into these cards and listen for some initial messages for you, and we'll kick off the reading with that. But give me just a second. Thanks. They're giving me that the reason why you do the work you do is a much deeper reason than just making money. Yes, you do need to make money. But if this is your reading, if that's not the case for you, I'm sure one of the other readings will be more appropriate for you. But they are giving me that deep down inside that there is a deeper meaning to your work in some way. There's a deeper reason why you do it. Maybe you started a business I'm just going to throw what just came at me, but you know your own business. You started a business doing woodworking because it's something your father used to love. Or maybe you're doing coaching of some kind. And yes, you do it for money. Yes, you do it for the freedom of working for yourself. But you are also doing it because you get a deep joy from helping others in some way, of being that support system, being a voice that helps them grow in their own lives. Maybe you're doing it because it's something that your mother always wanted to do or your grandmother always wanted to do and never got the chance. And so you feel drawn to it. Those are just examples, y'all, but they are acknowledging that if this is your reading, there's a much bigger reason or a deeper reason or a more profound reason for you to be doing the work you do than just money. Because I feel like you could be doing any number of things. You could be doing something else. You chose this line of work because in some way it tugs at you, tugs at your heart. They're giving me it has a powerful meaning for you. So whatever that is, they're just saying to honor that. To remember why you're doing the work you do. And not get too caught up in the growth in the money. And it's not to say that you shouldn't want to grow or make money or that you won't grow and make money. They're saying if you stay, how do I put that? They're saying if you remind your heart regularly why you're doing the work you're doing, number one, you'll find more joy in it. But the money and the growth will come a little bit more organically, more naturally, because you'll be coming from a place of love. And I know that probably sounds very woo-woo or very simplistic, but they are coming in to tell me that for you. So at least consider that. Just kind of keep it at the top of your mind. I'm doing this because, yes, I want to make money. Yes, I want to work for myself. Yes, I want the freedom to be able to, work from home, whatever it may be for you. But what is that deeper reason why you chose this business, this line of work? And just try to remember that. Okay. All right. Let's leave those there. Let's get some tarot cards down and see what else you need to know about your work, your finances, your business. The first card is the Ace of Swords. Then we have the Five of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles. Lots of pentacles here, y'all. Lots of pentacles. That's wonderful. I'm sure that's what most people who work for themselves want to see. Lots of pentacles, right? Lots of money. All right, give me just a second. I just want to take these cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you, and then we'll walk through this and see what you need to know. Okay, so hold on one second. The first thing they're saying is for you to be sure that you know the reason why you're doing this line of work. I know we talked about that a little bit with the other cards. But they're giving me a sense of maybe you've lost some of that meaning, or maybe the meaning has changed for you. Does it still mean as much to you now as it did then? Are you doing it for different reasons now? Is there still a deeper meaning for you? Why you want to do this work? What I'm really getting is that for some of you, you started it out because you had a personal connection to the work you do in some way. And then as it grew and became more and more of a business, became, a little bit more successful, you started making some money at it. They're saying for some of you, you've lost a little bit of that inner passion that would be attached to the reason why you started the work. I hope that makes sense. And I can understand how that could happen. Once we start getting more focused on growing our business, making more money, looking at numbers, looking at revenue, looking at the analytics, we get more and more detached from what brought us to the work in the first place, from where our heart was initially. They're encouraging you to try and return to that place a little bit more. It's not to say, give up on thinking about the analytics, the money, the finances. Yes, those things are all important if you're working for yourself. You have to make money. There's no way around that, right? You got to pay your rent. You got to put food on the table. But if you lose that heart-centeredness for you, for this group, the day will come when you lose, you're saying the day will come when you will lose your ability to do this work to the same level. So instead of moving your work forward, it'll start to slip backward because it won't mean as much to you. Yes, money is important. And we can see here, there's lots of pentacles here. You can be very, very successful. As successful as you want to be. But again, for this group in particular, if this is your reading, you do have a deeper meaning why you chose this particular line of work, this particular business to start for yourself. And they just want you to return to that meaning a little bit. To go back to that place when you started, where you were just excited to do the work, to try it, to see if it could, grow into something, to see what you could do with it, without being too overly focused on dollars and cents, euros and pence, whatever your currency is. Yeah. Okay. So it's not to take away from any ambitions, not at all, but it's just to remind you, go back and remind yourself why you got into this work. Okay. All right. Well, that's their initial message. That's what they wanted to share with you. But let's get into the cards. Your first card is the Ace of Swords. Let me just listen to what they want to say. They're telling me that your inner spark for this work has dimmed a little bit. At one point, just like on this card, it was like striking lightning. You were so electrified. You were so excited. You were so inspired and motivated to do the work that you do, to start the business that you started. They're telling me that it's like this sword they're showing me, where it used to be razor sharp, has gone a bit dull. And maybe the work for you has gotten a bit dull. Maybe the inspiration has slipped a little bit. And again, it goes back to the why. Where did this initial inspiration come from? And how can you recapture it? They're also encouraging you here with this card to look for other reasons. They're saying to to create, and I know this is a bit cliche when it comes to businesses, and I think often it's made to be overly important, but they're giving this to me for you for a reason. They're encouraging you to create your own kind of mission statement. Maybe you have before, but they're encouraging you, if you have, to revisit it and possibly rewrite it. Why do you want to do this work? What is it? What is your goal with this work you're doing? What makes you want to get up in the morning and dive into this work? What is your bigger meaning? And maybe it has changed. Or, with this card, they're pointing out all these different birds that are coming off of the streaks of lightning. Maybe there are new things that are inspiring you in addition to what initially sparked your interest. And that's okay. They're telling me that's absolutely okay. But they really want you to sit down and consider where you are now. Not just where you were before. Yes, look at where you were before, but look at where you are now as well. And allow yourself to look at all the reasons. Some of them may be financial. They may be freedom. They may be, again, the ability to work from home or to spend more time with family as well, because you're not tied to a desk or commuting to work. For some of you, anyway. What else? What do you love about the work you do in particular? What new things about this work inspire you that you didn't know maybe when you first started? So they're encouraging you to look at your initial reason why, but also to consider additional reasons why. Because it will re-inspire you, and then create that mission statement that you can read over and over again to remind you, this is why I'm doing what I do. Yes, I'm going to make money at it. Yes, I'm going to be successful. Yes, I'm going to create the business of my dreams out of this. But the reason why I'm doing this specific job is because of this. And this is what I want to contribute. And this is how I want to contribute it. Give your own thoughts. Okay. Your next card is the Five of Pentacles. One second. They're saying there's a need to be a little bit fearless and to go in your own direction. To not necessarily follow the crowd, but to follow your heart. And I do feel like this is a very heart-centered group. You are about more than just the money. They're saying follow your heart, where it takes you with the work that you do, and allow it to help you explore, maybe new ideas, new revenue streams, new reasons why. They're saying don't be afraid to take matters into your own hand, to follow your own inspiration, and to try to just forget what everybody else is doing. Let them do what they do. Try not to get too inspired by the competition. Get inspired by your own heart and what your own heart and soul wants to create from this work. Okay. All right. So your next card is the Seven of Pentacles. Just one sec while I listen. What they're saying to me is that you have the ability, or you can create the option to pick and choose the ways you want to make money, which is interesting. So maybe you have several different streams of revenue, or you could they're telling me you can pick and choose what is important to you, what means the most to you, what drives you, what inspires you. Yes, you can follow the dollars and cents. You know what I mean? You can, and no one is saying that you shouldn't consider what the public wants, right? And give them what they want in order to make money. But Spirit is saying also consider what your mission statement is. What is it you want to contribute? What is it that makes your business important? What helps you feel inspired? Because they're giving me, if you follow your own heart, if you pick the avenues that mean the most for you, not necessarily the ones that have been the most profitable in the past, those are just jumping off points. And not to say you shouldn't, if you've got a cash cow in your business, that you should ignore it. Absolutely not. But in addition, maybe consider what other options really touch your heart, really inspire you personally. Because once you start being true to who you are and what you want to do, people will find you. Your customers will find you because you will be so authentic and you will be so inspired that you won't be able to be ignored. When you're doing something for this group, again, not everybody, but this group, because you're a heart-centered group, when you're doing something just because it makes more money than something else, but maybe your heart's not as in it, you will lose interest. And that's where they were saying, maybe your sword has gotten a bit dull. Maybe it's time to sharpen it up again and reconsider, where you want to put your time and effort. Okay. All right. Your last card here is the Ace of Pentacles. They're saying, don't be afraid. Excuse me, sorry about that. Hold on. They're saying, don't be afraid to plant new seeds of inspiration, new business ideas. Don't be afraid to plant new choices that can grow into something. If there's something new that inspires you, they're saying, what are you waiting for? Go for it. You don't have to choose just one. You can try multiple things. What inspires you? What in your life makes you so happy that you think, I would do this whether I made money or I didn't? Because the reality is, for you guys, when you put your heart and soul into it, whatever it is, you will make money. You will find a way because you'll be so excited about what you do that you won't be able to shake it. So plant those seeds. If there are new things, maybe they're even separate from what your primary business is now. Maybe it's, off in a completely different direction. It doesn't mean give up on your original idea, but consider doing that as well. What other seeds? Or it could just be, other avenues, other areas within your business that you haven't tried yet. Maybe you haven't considered. Maybe there's something in your life that you love so much. You don't necessarily see it as being related to the work you do, to the business you do, but could it be? Allow yourself to play with that a little bit. But they're saying, don't be afraid to plant new seeds. You can make a business out of almost anything. But if your heart's not in it, you'll eventually lose interest. You'll get burnt out. You'll stop wanting to do it every day. Owning your own business is a lot of work. It's a lot easier to do when you love it. Okay? All right, group 2. I hope that helps. I hope it kind of just gave you that little bit of a nudge that you need to, sharpen your sword, get back to the reason why, and start growing your business even more, bringing in more money, more success, more abundance based on what your heart is really, really encouraging you to do. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to drop in the comments what your business is, I would love to hear about it. And I do read all your comments. But otherwise, if the reading resonated, if you found it helpful in any way, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. It really helps me know that that our energies are connecting, that it resonated, and it will also help future readings resonate with you a little bit more because we'll be that much more connected, kind of through space and time. All right. Thank you, group 2. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, group 3. All right. Today's reading is for those of you who are self-employed. You work for yourself. You're an entrepreneur. Maybe it's your full-time work. Maybe it's just part-time on the side. Doesn't matter. If you work for yourself, then you're in the right place. So we're looking at your work and your finances. Just going to see what comes through for you. I've got 2 cards here. These are Lenormand cards. One you've already seen in the intro, and it's card number 33, the key. Get the other one. Second card is card number 28, and gentleman. All right, give me just a sec. I just want to connect with the cards and see what you need to hear about this initially, and then we'll jump into the tarot. Give me just 1 second. First thing they're saying, which is very nice, they're saying you should be very proud of yourself. I know that's kind of a general thing to say, but they did pop in and say that. You should be very proud of yourself because you've brought your business to some level of success. And I know it will be different for everyone listening, but you had the courage to start. You had the courage to do it, to step out and start your own thing, whatever it is. They're saying you are ready to expand. You're absolutely ready to expand and to take your business further, to make more money, to make more influence, garner more influence, more, whatever it may be for you, whatever you consider success. They're saying it's time now for you to go to the next level and to expand. They just asked the question, and I'm not sure why they're asking it, but I'm going to put it out there and we'll see what they say. They said, are you ready? Are you ready? Ask yourself that question, because Spirit's coming in to say that you are ready. It's time. But they're posing that question to you. Are you ready? Do you want this? Are you ready to go to the next level, to take the steps you need to take to expand and grow? Or is it still in your mind as a someday I want my business to be bigger and more successful? They're saying if you want to play small, and I'm not saying you're playing small, but those are the words they're giving me. If you want to play small, if you want to stay where you are, you can. But Spirit's coming through to say you are ready for more. If you're willing to take the steps that you need to take, if you're willing, if you notice this gentleman, and it's not gender specific, it's a person. This person is you. And he's looking for the future. He's looking at this cup in his hand, which represents all the things he loves about what he does and wants. And he's dreaming of better days, of bigger success. The key represents what you need to do to get where you want to go. And hopefully we'll get some of those ideas here when we get into the tarot cards. But the first thing they're saying is make sure you are ready. If you have to talk yourself into it, you'd think everybody who works for themselves, we're ready. We're all ready to go to the next level. But when you get really down into the nuts and bolts of it, are you? Are you ready to do the things that you've been putting off? Are you ready to take on more customers? To be busier? To maybe work harder? I don't know. They're saying to be successful, there is an amount of being a little bit single-minded. And that's not to say your whole life has to be your work, right? But there is this focus, this single-minded focus on what you want and this desire to get there. And they're really encouraging you to talk yourself into it. If you feel any hesitation, if you imagine what your business looks like at the next level of success from wherever you are, what does that look like for you? And are you good with it? Are you happy with it? Are you excited about it? If you're not, number one, ask yourself why. And then try to talk yourself into it, because you don't have to stay where you are. You can expand. You can be bigger, more successful, achieve more, make more money. Whatever it is you want ultimately from your business, you can get there. Are you ready? Are you ready to take those steps now? Because Spirit's saying you are. So don't doubt that whether you can do it or not, because you can. But there is an element here of you might have to talk yourself into it a little bit. So take that as it resonates for you. Some of you, maybe you don't have to talk yourself into it. You feel ready, in which case Spirit is just validating that you are. You are ready. All right, let's get some tarot cards now. Let's see what else. The cards are all over the place today. And it's funny, as I was noticing that the cards were kind of falling all over the place, they're giving me this message of you're a little bit all over the place as well. In other words, your focus shifts on a day-to-day basis. Some days you're very, very focused on your business. Other days, you're distracted by that, or you're pulled in a different direction. And that's life, of course. But it can get a little bit scattered, at least for some of you. It can get a little bit scattered to where you lose, that laser focus on what you want and where you want to go, where you want to be with your work. That's not to say ignore the other parts of your life that are there, your family, your friends, your home, whatever it may be. But when it's time to work, stay focused on that. Don't allow yourself to get distracted from your work when it's time to work. That helps you. Okay. Your first card is the Nine of Swords. Then we have Strength. The Ten of Pentacles. And the Empress. All right. I mean, wonderful cards, even at first blush. The Nine of Swords, it's a little bit of overthinking, that kind of energy. But Strength, Ten of Pentacles, the Empress, I feel like there couldn't be much better symbols here for a successful business, for growth, for expansion, for getting everything you want. Okay. All right. So give me just a sec. I just want to hear what Spirit wants to say about these cards initially, and then we're going to walk through them one at a time. Okay. Hold on one sec. Again, they're talking about your focus. Your focus is very, very important. if you're wanting to take your business to the next level. Spirit's encouraging you to set like time limits, set parameters, set boundaries on your own free time. Not to say limit your free time, but set boundaries. In other words, especially these are for people, for those of you in particular, if you work from home, even if you work not from home, they're kind of giving me the same message that because you're getting distracted. They are giving me that you're getting distracted during the day or whenever it is you work, and you're allowing your focus to be pulled in other directions. They're wanting you to create, again, boundaries around work time, free time. If you find yourself during the hours you should be working, find yourself scrolling through your phone, looking at social media, flipping on the TV for a little bit, reading a book, whatever it may be. Try to pull yourself back and set those boundaries and say, okay, I am going to be focused and I'm going to work from this time to this time. And then I can take a break. Then I can do all those other things. I can start the laundry. I can, whatever. Relax. It's not that you have to work all the time, but when you should be working, and you get to decide when that is, if you want to work 1 hour a day, you want to work 8 hours a day, that's up to you. It's your business. But set those parameters, set those boundaries for yourself and stick to them. Force yourself to focus on what is most important now. So if you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to work from 9 a.m. to noon and stay focused, then do that. Push yourself to eliminate the distractions and be laser focused on your work during that time. And then say, okay, well, from noon until 1 o'clock, I can do whatever I want. And allow yourself to do whatever is most important to you in your free time. And then maybe you go back to work at 1 o'clock, whatever it is for you. They are giving me, there is this need to eliminate some of the distractions while you're working. And the distractions really are, for the most part, it feels like they're coming from you. If it's family, if you are working from home and you've got family around and they're interrupting you, work on setting boundaries with them as well, if you can. Or structure your day around times when you can be more focused, if that makes sense. Okay, well, that's what they wanted to say initially. Let's jump into the cards, see what else. Okay, your first card is the Nine of Swords. They're saying you're spending too much time worrying. You're absolutely spending too much time, excuse me, concerned in some way about how your business is doing. Maybe your business is doing very well. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just not where you want it to be. But they're giving me there is this level of concern, of worry, of wondering when it's going to get better. And it's almost like you spend that time you spend worrying about your business or wondering if it's going to get better, or whatever these onslaught of thoughts that kind of ramble around in our brains, when we allow them to. Spend that time that you would be worrying on forcing yourself to do something productive. You would automatically already see an increase in some way in your success. You worry too much. You're ready to go to the next level. And they're being very genuine in giving me that message. You're ready to take the next steps. You're ready to be more successful. Don't worry so much about what you've done wrong, what you could be doing better, what others are doing, what isn't working. If you need to write a list of, okay, these things aren't working. then write a list, but be productive about it. This isn't working. This is how I'm going to solve it. You can't have problems without at least trying to come up with a solution. Otherwise, it's just you fretting over something that, isn't changing. If you can't change it, if you can't work on it, if you can't do something productive about it, if it's out of your hands, set it to the side, at least during work time. Because it's eating away at your self-confidence, it's eating away at your productivity, it's eating away at your self-belief. It's wasting time. Okay. All right. Your next card is strength. Be kind to yourself, they just said. Be nicer to yourself. It's like you beat yourself up whenever you don't make enough money, whenever you don't make enough sales, it could be, or, maybe something didn't go the way you wanted it to go. That's life. They're saying, remember that we often learn the most from the mistakes we make, not from the successes. The successes are wonderful. The perfect job is wonderful. The project you do that goes off without a hitch and everything is perfect, that's wonderful. But when you make a mistake, when something doesn't go as planned, when a project kind of flops for some reason, you really beat yourself up over it. And it's almost like you have to have this argument with yourself whether or not you should be doing this work. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Allow yourself to look at what you perceive as a failure and ask yourself, what can I learn from that? What can I do next time to make it better, to improve? And if there's nothing you could have done, if it was out of your hands, let it go. Release it. But you're not going to be able to take on more. That's what they're telling you. You're not going to be able to take on more until you can accept what you have now. Good, bad, and ugly. Because the busier you are, the more business you have, the more your successes and like problems you're going to have as well. Challenges, failures is the word coming to mind, but they really aren't failures. You're going to have more good days and more bad days when you're doing even more. You have to be able to, brush it off. Brush it off. Be kind to yourself. Because you're not a failure. When things go wrong, it's an opportunity to learn something. In most cases, it's an opportunity to learn something. I would venture to say every case, it's opportunity to learn something, because they're showing me, even when you feel like it's something that's out of your hands, maybe it's something somebody else did, or just a situation, that has nothing to do with you in particular, but still learn something from it. Try. Okay, moving on. Your next card is the Ten of Pentacles. They want you to get comfortable with making more money and being more successful, being more visible with your business. For some of you, they just gave me being more recognized, so maybe you do something in the public eye. You have to learn to be comfortable with success. And that seems like a crazy thing to say, because we all want success. I can be very comfortable if I'm making more money. But going back to what they were saying at the beginning, there is this, it's like there's this doubt or this question of, are you ready? Am I ready? Ask yourself that question, because Spirit says you should be comfortable with the success that you can create for yourself. You have every reason to be comfortable. Let's put it that way. And no reason to be uncomfortable with it, because you have what it takes. You are good enough. You can do this. You can do this and more. But you got to tell yourself that. There's a lot of abundance here, a lot of abundance just waiting to fall into your lap. Not fall into your lap as in you don't have to work for it. But it's like kind of like you have to want it. And I know that sounds strange, but if this is resonating with you, there's a part of you that knows, yeah, there's something, something that worries me about the next level. Maybe you doubt your own abilities, your own skills. Maybe you just worry your time will be swallowed up, your free time, which again comes back to set some boundaries so that you're not wasting time. And you'll find out you have a lot more time than you thought. Whatever your reason, try to get comfortable with what that next level of success looks like and feels like, because it can make you a lot more money. It can give you that boost of confidence that you need, that you want, that boost in your business and the sustainability and stability that comes with it. Everything Spirit's telling me is that you're ready. But you still have to convince yourself you're ready for some reason. Because it's all there for you. It is. All right, your last card is the Empress. Let me just hear what Spirit wants to say about this. Hold on one second. They're saying the Empress is very fruitful, but often in new ways. Let me just try to understand what that means. They're saying your success can take you in new directions that you may not be anticipating right now. And they're just wanting you to keep that in mind. Your expansion, the growth of your business can lead you, they're really giving me, it can lead you to something else or something slightly different or something new. And why are they telling you that? They're telling me it's almost like there's a feeling of part of you worries you'll get bored with what you do if you're doing it all the time. If you are if you go to the next level and you become that much busier doing what you do, ask yourself if there's part of you that worries, I don't know, is this enough? Will I get bored doing this? Because Spirit's wanting to come in to reassure you, to kind of give you that little nugget of insight that down the road, what you're doing when you grow your business, when you expand, when you get to the next level, it's like there's an inspiration to do more, but in a slightly different avenue that will re-inspire you. So don't feel like this is, excuse me, sorry, y'all. My throat is really bothering me. Don't assume this is it. Okay? Just 1 second, I'm gonna listen. You're saying you can be as successful as you want to be. You don't have to limit yourself. The time you have, it's like you can fit more into your time when you need to. And it feels like you're forgetting that a little bit for some of you anyway. Let me see if there's anything else they want to say. Yeah, they're giving me this message of you can be more than you think. And it's a message really of some limited thinking. Like in your mind, you think your business can only go so far, or you could only do so much with it. But they're telling me that you're not right about that. There actually is no limit, because once you go to the next level and you expand, you're going to find new ways and new ways to do new things that will enhance your business, not replace it. Bring more value to it, bring more customers, more revenue. It will enhance it. They're saying you're not quite ready to do new things just yet. First, you got to tackle getting to the next level with where you are and what you're doing. But soon enough, you're going to start to feel this itch, this desire to do something more. And that's when inspiration will strike, and that's when opportunities will show up. And it will be very abundant, very successful for you, as is what you're doing, exactly what you're doing right now. Allow yourself to imagine that, to dream of that, to experience that. Don't sell yourself short. You can do this. You are ready. All right, group 3. I hope that helps. I hope, maybe it give you something to think about, if nothing else. If it resonated, I hope you'll give the video a thumbs up. It helps me know that our energies are connecting. It will also help future readings resonate with you a little bit more, because we will be that much more connected. If you want to drop into the comments what your business is, what you're doing, I would love to hear. I love reading all your comments, and I'm grateful for them. And I just want to thank you. Thank you for being here, and have a great day. Bye-bye.